Welcome to DrClumber's Tennis Academy. This is a review of the recently released Tennis Manager 2021, and yeah, I'm gonna talk through it. It's got a bit of potential, but there's a lot wrong with the engine. We'll talk about it. So, Tennis Manager is a game that was released recently by Rebound Capital Games, and well, I'd say it's recent. It says it's game version 1.4, so I might be wrong, but I've picked up on it recently and I thought, let's give it a fair shake and see if it's any good. I've burnt out on FM because of Sheffield Wednesday conundrums. So I decided to play this game and it's alright. It's alright. And I'm going to talk about what I think about some of the effects and things and the way the game operates. So the first thing to say is that you can get on the Steam Workshop a mod that's called TM Realist because the game is not licensed, so you need to get this mod to get all the licenses. And you can switch off the tutorials. They were alright, they just text screens, they didn't really help me at all, to be honest, but there we go. So I'm going to create a career and then we're going to see what this game is all about and what I think works and doesn't work. So yeah, we'll have a bit of a play around with it. First of all, the one thing that I find extremely funny is these are all stock pictures, right? They're clearly taken off from a stock site somewhere. And well, I've used a stock picture. I have to give credit to Pexels for Cotton Bro, who, I mean, that's just a brilliant picture. So if you like stock pictures like that, go to Pexels, PEXELS.com. Use them because they're just great. Oh, I'm already United Kingdom. I'm going to be old because I am old. I am going to be a man and I'm going to be a veteran. I'm going to be a senior. Yeah. Yeah. It's got to be, hasn't it? Yeah, but one of the things I find really funny immediately is when you look at the women, the seniors. I mean, some of them actually look like they're over 30. But a lot of them look like they're 20. And then you go to their veterans, and okay, you do get some grey-haired people. But seriously, she's. Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna stick with this because obvious. Right. So the game works a lot like other management games that you will have seen and got to know and love over time. A lot of FM 2021 in here, of course. Football Manager. A motorsport manager. It's about tennis, and it does a decent job of that. One thing that I don't like is that if you are a novice and you start at the base of everything, which is what we're going to do for this review because I think that's more interesting, then it's really difficult to have an impact on what's going on. And I sort of understand that, but I haven't worked out how my own experience goes up. So I'm just going to go with hardened. I like hardened. I'm a hardened, versatile coach. I'm going to leave the rest as is. We'll talk about the aspects of that a bit more later on. Now, rather than choosing one of these academies, so if you choose one of these academies, you get a bunch of their players. Nick Kyrgios, nothing wrong with Nick Kyrgios, swears a lot, and Talia Gibson, don't know her, but she looks like she's promising, so that's interesting. And as you can see, the bigger, the better, etc., etc. So you get the British #1 tennis academy with Andy Murray, Cameron Norrie, and Eve Shaw. And you can see they play on different circuits. So MTL is the male circuit, and then you got the junior circuit and all that sort of stuff. And if you want to really have an easy start, you start with the Florida Tennis Academy, where you get some decent players that all have a chance of breaking through and getting to the top, but you also get really good facilities. We're not going to do any of that. One of the things that I like about this game is that you can just start your own. So, DrClumber's Academy, and we're going to have a logo. You can't find a new logo. I think that, again, might be moddable. I'm not sure, but I've not really looked into it. I like that. It's like a T for Tim. Yeah. So based on these settings, I can choose players, right? So I'm going to have a 2-9, 2-9, 2-9, 2-9. No, I'm going to invest in youth, and that's going to be 4-9. Just because it makes it a bit harder for everybody. And then money, we're going to go with medium, because I need to hire staff, and it'll be really difficult to do anything with 100k. And then you've got the academy vision, which is going to be, I really don't know, early years development. That's what I want to do. And then basically you get to choose what sort of player you want in your academy. So you can look at the potential, right? And Tamara Zidansek is a Slovenian who's already in the top 100 in the women's league, who's solid and has a good level. That would be interesting, but not really, progressing and developing her and all that wouldn't be as much of a challenge. If we look at Daria Schnigor, with the mod you get, I think, real pictures, I'm not sure, but Daria is a Ukrainian and actually has fairly good statistics. In particular, her mentals are fairly strong, and then her reflexes are strong. Her technique needs a bit of work, but that's why you play this game. You can also see that she's an early bloomer. Okay, right. So basically, you can see that all these different players have different profiles, like they do in other management games, like Football Manager. But it's up to you to choose what you like. So this guy is 21 years old. He's a really strong serve, forehand and return. So that's all good. He can play like serve volley, for example. Oh, by the way, I'm not a tennis expert at all, so don't get me started on any of the intricacies. But yeah, this guy is physically all right. He's mentally all right. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? But we're not going for that. We're actually going to go... See, after Andy Murray, the United Kingdom just lost all its talent and everything else. And we could pick up Carl Edmund. Now, he's, I think, in real life, the #1 Brit ranked as well. So that would be interesting. You can see that he's ambitious, hot-headed, charismatic. He's got really good stats. We could actually make him into something really special, I think. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. We've got Emma Raducanu. And again, this is someone that will need developing. Wasn't she in the news recently? Didn't someone say something nasty about her? Yeah, I think that was her. I'm not going to divulge into that, but yeah. So that will be an interesting player. Matilda Mutavcic is very young, but likely to develop. But she's also a late bloomer, so it's difficult with her. I need someone who is actually going to get me points. So you know what? We're going to go with Carl Edmund. And we're going to launch the career. And then you get to the operation screen, if you like. Now this is where it gets a bit silly, because this interface is completely dominated by emails. And I like that you can select it to filter it, and you can add filters and all that sort of stuff. That's nice, right? I like that. What I don't like is that this sort of seems to be overly dominated by email, which I get, that's what other management games do as well, but it feels a bit too much. And then the news is just the tennis circuits. You just get your top 10s and people coming up and down and all that. Not particularly interesting. If we go to circuits, again, you just get the different tournaments and everything else that are coming up. You can register Carl Edmund. We're going to do that in a minute. And then if you go to team, this is where the bread and butter is. In my opinion, this should be the main screen, but you can't edit it or change it or anything like that. Anyway, so we've got Carl Edmund here, 25 years old, decent player. We're going to try and get Carl. I don't know what we promised him. What did we promise him? If you go to contracts, this one was hidden away. This took me ages to find. But he wants to reach round 16 in a Grand Slam. He wants to reach rank 35. Okay, that's doable. MTL Masters 1000. Apparently he's already achieved that. And a quarterfinal in the 500 or 250. Okay, good. Good. You can also see we've only got him on a 1-season contract. We can offer him a new contract. One of the things that I don't like is our revenue share is only 8%. That means that we get hardly any money from him. But we're going to just see what happens, because this isn't a real playthrough, it's a review. So Cal Edmund, we also can see that he's better on hardcore and clay than he is on grass, and he's not competed indoor yet. We can also see his game plans. We can change his game plans. So we know that he likes offensive base play, top spin play from the baseline, and big serve and attack. And we can fiddle about to this. We can set up all sorts of different parameters. And this is where the game actually is really pretty good. I quite like this detail that's in the game. You can, make the player do what you want him to do to a degree, and that's actually quite useful. Then the other thing that we've got is training. So in this week, we're not training, but the week after, we get to this. And again, training is fairly accurate in this game, I would say. The things that you train on, you can see the players getting better at. So if you want your player to get a better serve, for example, he's already got a very decent serve. What shall we pick up on? I want him to get better at returning, right? So we're going to look at the training, and we're going to go here, and then we're going to say, instead of your upper body training, we are going to look at your returns. And where do you find returns? You can see all these different skills that I'm looking at. There you go, return positioning. That's what I want you to train on. And then winning return is already there, so that's useful. Small training match, natural fitness, stamina. I'm not sure he needs that, so we're gonna look at returning again, taking the ball out of the comfort zone. So technically, the exceptional moves. Tempting. Technically, this game is actually really there. In terms of what I would expect from a tennis game, it's in there. It's good in that sense. I'm quite happy with it. So yeah, we can set the training and everything else. Then we've set the game plans. We get to planning in a minute. First things first, I need to assign a team to him. So at the moment, it's just me. And you can see with this exclamation mark, I'm not, I'm basically overworked. I don't have enough time to help him out. I also have a very poor physio, who's only got 1-star physio care, so that doesn't really help. So we need to get some staff in. And that you do through the search screen. So I've skipped Academy, we'll get to that in a second. Search screen, you can search players, and you can also evaluate those players, so that's really useful. So if you click on that, your scout will start looking. Now, one of the things that I don't like when you start your own academy, you've seen the poor physio, I've got a poor scout who's also 1-star, I've got a poor agent who's 1-star. I get started with staff that aren't very good, right? And that's a shame. I don't understand the logic in that. Either let me just choose everybody, or whatever it is, but I can't get rid of these people. I can't click on it. Oh, I can. Scratch that. I clearly didn't prepare that bit properly. I can get rid of them. It's just going to cost me money. I did not realize that. Good. So now we can find more stuff. I've already wasted 70,000 just sacking them, by the way. And hiring stuff is going to take money as well. I found that you can fiddle about with filters. Actually really daft, by the way. So you say, I want you to train on surf, and I want you to be better than 20, and then you click confirm, and it doesn't hold. You have to click the green tick. Really frustrating UI. I don't understand the point of that at all. Instead, I'm going to look for a trainer, and I'm going to look for experience level and only interested staff. So now I can select the people that want to come based on their experience. And I can go, oh, look, there's a picture here of Lionel Grossenbacher, who looks very serious, and not great. Mora. So I'm looking for someone who can either do the physical side, which this guy can do, or the training of the skill set, if you like. Well, let's see. Who do we go for? Mental, tactics, physical. I think that Mora is probably the best one. So we're going to offer a contract. This is where our money is just going to start disappearing. Doesn't really matter because, again, it's not a real playthrough. 2 seasons. We can negotiate. I'm not really right bothered. Click leave negotiation. So they will be joining us. Then I want a coach, someone who can do the technical side of things. Tenti. I want a coach who's really good at return. So we will use the filter at this point. Return, and I want you to be able to do 18. Right. Now I would like to just tap minus plus something that's been in Football Manager for years. I can't. I have to do the whole thing again. And quite frequently when I do this, I forget to click the green tick, and then, you know, it doesn't hold and it just gets frustrating. Frustrating it is already. I can't find anybody. I don't know why. Add filter, attribute, return. 13? Tick. I nearly did it there, did you see? Wow, okay. Well, it looks like the guy I clicked on first is probably the best. It's not bad. Emilio Escobar. Ah, just for the name. Just for the name, we've got to hire you. There we go. So these people join into my thing, into my academy, and they will become available to train other people, which is great. Right. You've seen all this. I'm going to leave that as is. We're going to go to Cal Edmonds planning. So we could plan the whole week and everything else, and then we could plan for the actual season. So at the moment I haven't got any matches planned. Let's plan something here. In the first opening game we are going to play... you know what? That doesn't seem bad. So you're selecting based on money and points, and quite frequently if they get more money and there's an equal amount of points, that's where the best players will go, because they will want to get more money. I think I'm quite interested in this one, because the last time it was won by someone who's not great. It's the first tournament of the season, and you know, we want to try and get a bit of form, a bit of shape, with a chance to adding points to our tally, if you like. So we're going with that. I could do the whole part of the season. I'm not going to. We're going to continue just to get a bit of base. Yeah, they're not happy with me sacking all my staff. So let's just recruit a physio, Carol Owens, offer a contract, you're retiring, great. Valeria Denisova, you look fine, yeah. Oof. Okay, so, press conferences. Handily helps me to add something else. This doesn't do anything. I haven't seen any effect from press conferences. In Football Manager, they're click-through, blah, 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 they're annoying. Here, they're probably even worse. Also, the emails you get are all standard. So if you start a game and then you restart the game, you're going to get the same scenarios. In actual fact, this goes to the point where, and I haven't tested this with a younger player yet, but your player at some point will say, oh, I'm expecting a baby. Yeah, I've not been with it because I've got a baby. Okay, great. And then sometime later they will go, oh, I broke up with my girlfriend. So it's stuff like that winds me up. The fact that it's repetitive, that there's no real sort of development there, that, you know, I understand that they're trying to use it as a storytelling mechanism, which is fine, and I understand it's really difficult to have random events, things like that, but it feels plastic, and that, I think, is the biggest point I'm going to make, and it's going to become even more obvious in a minute when we get to the good. They've all joined, I think. We'll click on one more. When we actually get to playing a match, you will see what I mean when I say it's plastic. Now, I don't mind that the match engine doesn't look great, so don't get me wrong. That's not a major problem because, frankly, a match engine is just a match engine. It's something that you use to play a game, and that's that. What I don't like is how wooden everything appears to be in terms of responses and helping your player and all that sort of stuff. Right, so we have put together. There we go, that's what I need. We've put together the team. I want to coach him, even though I'm not the greatest coach, but I also want my other staff to be involved. So we're going to add those here. Yeah, might as well. And then Denisova. So now I've got a team of people around him that hopefully will be able to help him. That's the whole idea. And you will get training reports every week where you can see whether it's developed in the way that you want it to develop and the points that you want to develop. And the game plans are actually really important. I'm not putting any attention on it because it takes time to start planning them. The game will remind you to plan them and to look at your player strengths and see what you can do better. And then you can also, on top of that, you can choose different equipment. So at the moment he's got a tennis racket that's on power, and he's got vivacity in his shoes, which I find hilarious. Vivacity is apparently, what did it say it was? Speed and agility instead of balance and footwork. Okay. Okay. And we've actually got a contract here, which means that we get paid for us wearing these shoes, which is fine. We can choose a different model with a different thing. So no impact on player attributes and balance of footwork instead of speed and agility. So you can choose what you want for your player. Again, we're not going to spend too much time on that. I don't like that one at all. Just go in dark, that's fine. And again, we get money for tennis racket, which is great. This is all done by your agent, but it takes time to develop that. The first season, I find, all is about getting a young player that you think has got potential and then building it up around that player, hiring another player, a youngster probably, and starting to build. Oh, so he's got a new girlfriend. I'll prove it to you. Okay, good. That's a new one. So maybe they are random. I've not seen that one before, or I've not noticed it before. Press conference. Go away. So the game has a lot going for it. It really has got a lot going for it. I didn't go to the press conference. Everybody thought it was great. It's also got a lot not going for it. And that, I find it feels like an early access game that isn't finished at all. And I think that's a shame, you know. So I just got an email from an agent that I've sacked, for example, because it's standard email. Right, finally, we've made it to a game. So let's have a look at what we're talking about. First off, you get analysis. This is based on what my analyst, who I've sacked, thinks about this player. So I haven't worked it out, but I don't think having a better analyst makes any difference to this whatsoever. I am going to test that at some point. I think at the moment it's my analytical skills that decide whether this guy is good or not, what he's good at. I know that he's placed as an attacker and he's aggressive and he likes to switch to offensive baseline serve volley. He's strong in the forehand and reflexive support and drop shot and spins. We need to target his backhand. Now, these intensity levels, I haven't worked this out yet. I think they use more energy the higher they are, but you can also use them as sort of where do I put most emphasis. So key points, should target his opponent's backhand, that's what I want him to do. I'm going into the locker room. This hardly ever has any impact at all on the player. It's just one of those things. And then we get to the match. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to be unpleasantly surprised. Is that a word? Unpleasantly surprised? Yeah, I think it is.
First set.
So you can see your players here. They're determined. Oh, we're just playing slightly quicker, so let me just change that a bit. Again, that's something I do like. You do get that control, which is nice. I don't want to sound that loud. I don't think that made any difference to the sound, but hey ho. This is the game. And you can see the ball where it lands, which is good. You know, that dark spot is useful. Your players react every now and then, but everything looks like a PlayStation game from 1999. I can't lie, it looks so bad. It's plastic. It's just not finished graphically at all. The players hardly ever deviate their play in terms of what they do. There's no. It's just plastic. It's just plastic. Now, I could talk to him and I could say, come on, yay, motivate, yeah, and you can see his motivation goes up. Don't know why I'm pointing at the screen, but it was going up there, which sort of shows that he likes to listen to what I have to say, and that's good. But watching a whole game, a whole match, I should say, because a game is only 40 points, and then whoever wins, wins. It's tedious. I tried to watch a game where my youngster, who was really in great form, was up against Federer, and I thought, yeah, I've got to watch this, and I just lost the will to live, to be honest. So yeah, we can change the camera angle. This actually looks better, in my opinion. You get more of an idea about the tactics and all that. So if you slow it down a bit, go to that. You can see that my player. No, that's my player now. Wait, did that change? Yeah, that changed. Okay, I've all of a sudden on the other side of the pitch. Court, but you can see that I'm playing quite far behind the back, and so is he, and we're sort of doing his one-on-one type thing. Right, we're losing, so that's not great. So what we're going to do is we're going to attack, and we're going to do it properly, close. So I've changed the game plan now, and we'll see if that has an effect. Seems to, yeah, he got close to the net, as you can see there. So he should be attacking here. Oh, actually, he's on return, so maybe not. Let's go to the next set where I'm surfing. There we go. Right, let's see. Risky serve, ace. Oh, good. Hold. So he's taking more risks in the serve. And again, like I said earlier, this is where this game is actually really good. You can change these tactics and the player will respond to that, and you can see the difference it makes. So we've clawed it back. We were a game down and we needed to break him. We broke him and then we held our own serve. So that's actually really positive, right? That's nice about the game, and that is great. But the whole thing is just... We lost. Right. It just feels like it feels plastic. It feels wooden. Right, I wish I could skip ahead now, but I can't. So before we do the closing remarks, we're going to have a chat about. We're losing bad here as well, aren't we? We're going to change to another strategy there, and we're going to tell him off. Yeah. His confidence has gone down there. Sometimes that's a good thing, who knows. So, do I recommend this game? 17% ace, 11% breakpoints converted. I think that's sort of it. I think there's bits that this game does really, really well. Like the development of the player, like the management of that side of things, like picking the tournaments and being clever as to which tournaments you go to and which you don't go to. You can actually notice over the whole season, I've only played the whole season so far, but you can notice that by being outsmarting the computer, that's a great sentence there, but by outsmarting the opponent, if you like, by going to different tournaments and picking up points where they drop them or where they leave them on the floor, on the table, you can get your player to progress really quickly. And then when you get to a big Masters, you go, oh, you know, you get destroyed by players that are equally ranking or even worse because they've been doing the hard grind of developing their own skill set. And you learn over time, which I do like with the game, what is a priority. So that small tournament where you might be able to pick up 50 points might not be worth it at the expense of training your player and getting better at the serve game or the game plan that you've got for a big tournament coming up. And that is interesting. All the fluff around it, all this stuff that comes through the email, all the press releases, all that sort of nonsense. It's not interesting. It's really not interesting. So it really depends on what you want to do. If you want to play this game to really develop a player, absolutely recommend it. If you want to play this game to develop your academy and getting a bigger and better impact in the tennis world, possibly worth it, but you've got to take the rough with the smooth, and there's a lot of rough. The game engine is tedious, although it does respond to what you want it to do. The interaction with players is tedious, with staff is tedious. It's a give and take. I would give it, at the moment, 55 out of 100. It tries. It's not a big development team, you can tell from everything, but it needs more, and it needs to be just a bit better. Right, DrClumber out. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you for the next one.